Hello, folks. For this round, we have part 2 of a slapdown connected to Richard Dawkins' incompetence and the God delusion. As I noted in my original vid, Dawkins appeals to the Treaty of Tripoli illicitly. I didn't explain that in the vid, but I gave a link in the vid description to one of my articles which explains. In response, a rather sorrowful Fundy Atheist-style biker man said,
Balderdash, there's nothing illicit about Dawkins' citation of the treaty. It's absolutely relevant. It speaks directly to the point he is making.
Yeah, right. Well, as I said, I wrote a whole article on that issue, but Bikerman is too busy trying to distract from Dawkins' blunders to notice. So let's bring it to the fore. Obviously, we need to start by citing the passage in question. For background, the context of this is part of a late 18th century treaty reached by America with certain Muslim pirates of the African coast. And this is what's called Article 11. There are a lot of issues with this thing, such as that a renegotiated version of the treaty 8 years later didn't include this article. You can read more about that in my article, which I'll link to again in the vid description so that Bikerman can ignore it. Let's focus on the main issue for which this is misused, both by Fundies and by Fundy atheists like Dawkins and Bikerman. Here's the context within which Dawkins appealed to the treaty as found in the God delusion. As you can see, he used the treaty as evidence related to the issue of the religious views of the Founding Fathers, and that's exactly the sort of illicit use I'm talking about, which comes from both Fundies and Fundy atheists. The critical mistake they make is thinking that the treaty says something about the personal religious views of the founders, or of anyone at all. But Article 11 just says that the government of America is not founded on the Christian religion. This doesn't mean that the American social or political network was not founded with Christian principles in mind, or that the peoples of America were or were not Christian to some degree. It merely addresses the government. It should occur to mindless drones like Dawkins and Bikerman that the phrase founded on the Christian religion, when addressed to Muslims, would have a certain meaning to those whose state was founded on the Islamic religion. The essential message would be that America was not a Christian theocracy, or a state where the church had political power, or set up the same way that the religious authorities in Muslim nations had power, which is something no one argues for America. So that's how Dawkins uses the treaty illicitly, most likely because, as with the Jefferson quote, he was just using second-hand sources rather than researching the issue himself. And for the record, and just to tick you Fundy atheists off, here's the text of an October 1891 Supreme Court decision, which does say that America is a Christian nation, but this time in the sense that Dawkins and his fanboys read into the Treaty of Tripoli. So, that's all for now. I guess now we can expect Bikerman to come up with some more distractions from his and Dawkins' blunders.
Hey, Holding, I don't care what you do to me. You can make fun of my nose and my appearance. I don't care.
Okay. See you next time.